Hi there, welcome along to Business Today. I'm Jerome Paul Songo. Hope you're doing good. I'm with Winnie Wins and Agochi on sign language, and this is Business Today. Kicking it off with our top story regarding the NSSF annual forum. As for the fiscal year 2021-2022, the members of the National Social Security Fund will get 1.38 trillion Ugandan shillings credited to their account as interest on their savings at a rate of 9.65% at the fund's 10th annual members meeting. This particular one was held at the Kampala Serena Hotel with Honorable Henry Musasizi, the Minister of State for Finance, and on behalf of General Duties, made the announcement in place of Honorable Mattia Kasaija, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Samuel Kirimunda with the report.
Given the global shocks experienced in 2020 that have continued to have an impact of the global economy, to this point, the interest rate is more than the 10-year average rate of inflation, which stood at 5.5% as the end of June 2022. Total assets, however, climbed to 12.2%.
Total assets in the sector are now Uganda shillings 20 trillion. This is about 12.2% of GDP from 5% a decade ago.
Dr. Richard Byarugaba, Managing Director of National Social Security Fund, says that the drop in the 12.5% interest rate paid the previous year was primarily attributed to the relocation of investment from long-term to short-term fixed income instruments to provide liquidity for mid-term payouts, inflation pressures, and spillovers from the global economic turbulence. Byarugaba noted that this year, the fund gave members a record-breaking of Ugandan shillings 1.19 trillion in total benefits, of which more than 40% were mid-term payments, in order to have the liquidity to pay claimants who are eligible for mid-term benefit. He urged them to invest in short-term products with lower returns.
Because what has been the problem? Sensitization. People just don't know that NSSF allows voluntary contributions. It is something we've decided we're going to do more. So that is the first thing. So voluntary is our growth area, and definitely we'll go with it, but we need to provide them with a product. That's why our members have been telling us, I'm not interested in your retirement product. Can you get me something else? And we believe that voluntary will be that area. We need to provide other products that will enable them to actually come on board. Last year we paid out almost 700 billion shillings. Before last year. This year we paid out 1.2 trillion shillings. That figure should come down to maybe around 800.
Of the mid-term benefits payment, one of the important clauses in the NSSF Amendment Act 2021, Honorable Amongi Bet Ongom, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, provides the following summary of the financial performance for financial year 2021. 2022.
Due to still the economic turbulence, we were forced as government to enact a law for mid-term access. And that mid-term access statistically has contributed to lowering of the interest rate that has been declared today. So I really want to appeal to members that this fund is meant for your retirement. It's a social security fund to support you at retirement. So as much as the law enacted permits you to withdraw your money mid-term, I am still pleading with you that try every other option, and it should be the last option for you to come for mid-term access.
From Ugandan shillings 15.5 trillion shillings to 17.3 trillion, assets under management increased by 11%. Growth is fueled by the capital investments made with rising revenues that are expanding faster than outflows. Our contributions from members increased by 9% from Ugandan shillings 1.3 trillion to Ugandan shillings 1.48 trillion. Amongi also argues that the fund should provide for mortgages because the UK market is strong.
No, the fund is doing a lot to ensure that we increase investment in other areas. I have seen from the financing, from the investment, that fixed income brings more money to the fund. So there might be need to look at more how to review probably our real estate sector, because today I was listening to the UK market for real estate, where banks are now refusing to lend for mortgages.
The benefits paid out to qualified members claimed to shillings 1.19 trillion from Ugandan shillings 642.3 billion, with the payment of debts, new member registrations, and reactivation of employer accounts being the key drivers of the growth in contributions. Mid-term rewards to eligible members served as a catalyst for this. Samuel Kirimunda, reporting for Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Away from that, Uganda's microfinance bank has launched a portal today. This one is a securities portal. Now, as you look at this, the Executive Director Operations of the Bank of Uganda oversaw the launch of the Uganda Housing Finances Bank Securities Portal, which will give all Ugandans access to financial and investment opportunities, which also include the ability to buy treasury bills and bonds from any location at any time. Now, this is the first of its sort in Uganda, doing away with the bureaucratic process used in earlier methods of purchasing shares. We have more with Desire Namabiru.
The Ugandan capital market is still in its infancy and lacks the depth required to meet the nation's capital needs. There are relatively few local problems and liquidity is low. Although steps are being taken to introduce electronic trading and settlement, trading and settlement are not yet conducted electronically on the various securities exchanges. Since it is electronic-based and designed to make access to securities easier, the newly created securities portal will be essential to bridge the gaps in the capital market investing.
From the Bank of Uganda side, we're excited to launch this service that brings technology to ensure that investors in government securities can access the bank electronically. They can use the technology to invest and use technology to see their returns. I think this is an exciting opportunity that should be spread throughout the financial sector.
Yeah, you see, we continue to see technology redefining the landscape of banking, and convenience as a value proposition is a key attribute that customers desire. So with this new application, you, our customers, can quickly access, can conveniently access this solution to enable you grow investment. And this is in addition to the many areas of investment. So this is one area that we are bringing to you as our customers to be able to quickly or easily and conveniently trade in these financial markets. The government securities, the treasury bills, the bonds, you can do all that just within the palm of your hands, our customers. And for us, we're excited that this is a solution that's being brought to you out to leverage.
In Uganda, there were 28.01 million mobile connections as of January 2021, according to a study. In Uganda, there are now 1.1 million more mobile connections, a 4.0 rise. More than 6 million Ugandans have smartphones. The same study continues to show the number has climbed by 4 times when compared to the previous 7 years, indicating a high mobile internet penetration rate, estimated at 24%. The aforementioned figures indicate that the newly created portal offers a chance for the residents to gain from its launch.
We are excited to bring you, our customers, a new solution, a new application that enables you to participate to dealing and enriching financial assets, the government securities, within the comfort of your location. Your living rooms, your offices, your location, doesn't matter which part of the world you are. We are here to say that as our customers, both present and prospective customers, you can actually participate, you can actually trade in the financial markets through our solution. And what we've done now is to bring this solution to you to enrich your ability to have a wide range of choice also from the convenience of your current location.
Traditional investing businesses continue to use digital securities more widely for a variety of reasons. These tokens simplify the entire security process from issuance to oversight and eliminate many of the barriers faced by the investors. In a population of 45 million, it is estimated that only 133 people own securities. But with the introduction of this electronic portal, this number is anticipated to increase. Desire Nambiru, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, Desire Nambiru with that report. Now we look at value addition on coffee. Even though the best Arabica coffees in the world are produced in Uganda, the country's coffee industry is probably underperforming when compared to other coffee exporting nations. Now, building a structured demand will involve encouraging value addition at the farm level so that more Ugandans and coffee producers, processors and investors profit fairly from the sector. Rona Nahawe reports.
Number 14, His Excellency held a high-convened stakeholders engagement with key players in the coffee industry. The financial year of 2020-2021, the coffee industry injected in the economy $862 million as compared to the $562 billion of the global market. Today, Uganda Coffee Development Authority met with key players in the coffee industry, that is the brewers, farmers, baristas, and baristas, to come up with an adding value or resolution paper to be brought back to the president. We have more.
Money in the pockets of farmers, because it increases yield, it increases quality. So that was issue number one. Issue number two, we said value addition. And the question was, how can locals, us, those who seated here, even Clark is now a local, because we have localized him. How can we participate in that value addition process so that we also capture some of that value? Then a discussion came up about soluble plants. And one of the things was that there were two benefits. Undergrades, I don't want to go into all of that stuff, but basically there were two benefits. So there is a discussion, do we get one, do we get two? Because already there is an investor who is ready, and you know who it is, to implement immediately the one of. But then as the MD said, in NDP3, I think there are 2 or 3, so they can look at. So the question was, how do we participate in that one? Number 3 was the important question of marketing and sales. What's the level of investment that the state can put in the marketing and promotion of Ugandan coffee?
450 trees and an acre, and you can increase production from 800 grams per tree to 3 kilograms per tree. You have added value. If you process your coffee and you come up with very high quality coffee, which attracts premium price, you have added value to your coffee. But also if you process your coffee, instead of selling Chibok coffee, you sell it as a parchment or you sell it as a cassé, you have added value. But also if you have the green beans, you roast and grind and sell as a powdered coffee, in a supermarket you have added value. If you have even capital intensive investment and you can invest in soluble coffee plant, you've added coffee. Strategies for promoting Ugandan coffee, and one such a strategy is to promote coffee export to China. And with export to China, we are looking at both value-added coffee and higher specialty coffee. We are also looking at, we are developing a coffee online.
Uganda must address some of these key issues if it is to reach its goal of 1.5 billion shillings in exports profits by 2025.
Coffees that we need to compete on the global market, which you know very well, absolutely, that you know very well, are what you call screen 18, the good beans. Those have always competed well on the market. What we need to do is the branding and marketing. Like someone said that while we were in the UK cupping and tasting event, some people said, you mean Uganda is a coffee producing country? When we are the #1 export. What has been happening is that we do not have a secretariat, a specific secretariat to brand our Ugandan coffee. So other people use it, blend it, you know, with the cheap coffees. I don't want to mention the names, but I can tell you there are only 2 countries on the tropics 2 countries on the tropics that are producing good highland coffees: Honduras, Salvador, and Uganda.
Commercializing soluble coffee was one of the proposals made by the stakeholders. However, farmers continue to complain of middlemen that are defrauding them. Will this have any impact on their ability to make any profit?
The middlemen, they are the ones who are now getting more from us, from our coffees. So for us as farmers, we're just selling raw materials instead of selling coffee, which has value, and we get some more added. And again, we don't have a right as farmers to bargain on market. When we are in the market, we don't have that right. So the one who has the right is someone who has money at the end of the day. So as farmers, we think if Vinci is coming direct to the farmer to negotiate with the farmer, for us as farmers, we don't have a problem with Vinci.
Coffee is an important part of Uganda's economy, stably generating 15% of export earnings for the past 15 years. Even as other exports have risen, Uganda produces 1% of the world's Arabica crop. But while its production is still increasing and is highly competitive, it has been overlooked by trade and consumers. Rana Habwe, Business Today, Smart 20.
All right. Now, away from that, we look at microfinance and SACCOs in the country. One of the major functions of the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act 2016 is to establish the SACCO Stabilization Fund and establishing a SACCO Saving Protection Scheme. Microfinance has brought up regulations on Tier 4 to help small enterprises have access to saving based on their levels. As a step towards poverty eradication in Uganda, this is a move that has been championed. Bronia Katusime with more of the details.
Microfinance is a category of banking service offered to unemployed or low-income people or groups who would not otherwise have access to financial services. The Ugandan system is divided into 4 tiers, with Tier 4 being intended to help those who run small businesses and savings groups. As a framework for Ugandan microfinance institutions, the Bank of Uganda released a policy statement on microfinance regulation.
Recognized the effort that had been put in place from the different groups which were working under microfinance business in Uganda. And the tiered system acknowledged that it might be necessary to regulate these institutions. And these institutions at that time, actually until today, do include institutions like the SACCOs. They include non-deposit microfinance institutions. They also include money lenders. They include also self-help groups or VISLAs, if you may like it. So for that matter, we are here on a very serious business to ensure that the government of Uganda that established that legal framework and regulatory framework of the Tier 4 microfinance institutions will therefore try to put forward the guidelines as per Tier 4 Act, Section 100, which operationalizes UMRA in this particular sector.
Ugandans should understand that those that are under Tier 4, the SACCOs, the village savings and loan associations, the money lenders are regulated by UMRA. We have a regulator. Before the enactment of Tier 4 money lenders, Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions, the Money Lenders Act, we used to have issues with the SACCOs. SACCOs, I mean managers, chairpersons of SACCOs would connive and swindle members' savings. But now, with the creation of this law and also creation of the regulator, these days we don't have issues to do with the swindling of members' savings in SACCOs, and also money lenders to some extent have been regulated. So you should understand that these financial giants that are in tier 1, 2, and 3 are regulated by Bank of Uganda. And therefore, those that, the savers, the depositors that keep their monies with those institutions should understand that their monies are safe.
But before the business community can take advantage of microfinance, there are a number of things that must be done. Stakeholders suggest that a well-amended microfinance law will aid in Uganda's economic development and educate the public as to who is eligible for these loans. They also encourage Ugandans to develop the practice of saving because it is very advantageous in the corporate sector.
Proper regulation goes ahead, we shall have a lot of improvement. We shall be seeing a vibrant financial sector which is taking care of all these, which is trying to work on all these vices that we have been going through, seeing people swindling other people's money, getting interest rates that are charged the way they want. So we are trying to make sure all that is very well controlled.
Some Ugandans have tried to save, but they only save just for, can I say, for convenience, just for association. They don't make meaningful savings. You find a person saving how much? For us, we save every week. How much? 2,000. Every week, you save 2,000. So, on a daily basis, divide 2,000 by 7. How much will that be? Around 600 point something. So that means on a daily basis, that member saves 600 shillings. Now 600 shillings. How many years do you need to save for a bicycle? With 600 shillings. So we want to, as you come up with this, but we want also to go sensitize, work on the mindset of Ugandans, talk to them. They should embrace saving culture.
Any Ugandan is eligible for any loan as long as it exists and you are agreeable to the terms. So it covers everybody, and because they are Ugandans, we therefore can regulate them under the microfinance system.
Microfinance offers better loan repayment rates than traditional banking, which assists the poor to overcome poverty, thus leading to economic development. Did you know that money saved today could save you tomorrow? Bronia Katsime, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, Business Today will continue immediately after the break. Just a quick one. We are Smart 24 TV driving business, channel 372 on DSTV and channel 394 on GoTV. Keep your eyes glued. We'll be right back with more on Business Today.